Hey everyone, I'm back. Come on in. Motivational Monday. Let's do this. What do you say? I'm ready for it. Missed you all. I'm so glad to be back and back into my regular routine. I changed up my situation here with the I got a new stand for my phone and all of that. There's my girl Cassie. Thank you, Cassie. Welcome back to our normal lunchtime thing together, right? It's good to be back. It's really good to be home. I'll tell you something. One thing about traveling, it's so much fun. You have a great time. You see great people. And one of my Nutri coaches, Roberta, and I got together with her and her husband a couple of times, and we had an absolute blast. What a fantastic time we had. Lisa, so good to see you too. Come on in, everybody. Let's get busy. It's Martin Luther King Day, and it's a holiday, but that doesn't stop us from talking about great things. That was a great man, and he did great things, and so can we. That's what I want to talk about today, because today is Motivational Monday. So share this, would you? Do a watch party, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do, and bring some people in, because we want to, talk about some stuff. What do you guys think of the new phone setup? You can see pretty much my whole room now. Right over here, right behind me right there, that's my little trampoline. It's a rebounder, and it's amazing. I am telling you, it is the most amazing thing. This is what I do. It's fantastic. Cassie's loving the Wise Women's Tea. Funny you should mention that. Hi, Trisha. Good to see you. And over here, you see that right there where my finger is? Oh, man, right there. That's my little bike. You know what I want to do? I want to replace that bike with a Peloton. So that's my big goal. Hey, there's my girl Liz. Who else is there? Did I just see Ben? I did. There's Roberta. Kimberly is there. I was just talking about you, Roberta. I was telling everybody how much fun we had hanging out with you guys, and yeah, it was incredible. We jokingly call Roberta's husband Stan the mayor of Reno, because this man can do anything. We had an incredible time. Hi, Tracy. Catherine, good to see you. Everybody come on in. Good to see everyone. I am stoked. I'm so glad it's Monday. And I'm so glad it's Martin Luther King Day, because this is an opportunity to kind of sit back and to think about a great man who, he was 39 when he died, you guys. 39. I was a kid. And I remember it. It was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Martin Luther King, within 10 days of each other. And I remember I was just completely devastated. I was too young, really, to remember much about when JFK was shot. I was alive, but young. But I do remember Robert. I had the mumps, and I was up in bed watching TV. Everybody had gone to sleep. It was in California. And I remember seeing JFK get shot and being so shook up and telling my parents, because I was awake and uncomfortable, couldn't get through it. Anyway, so, and then after that, Martin Luther King, and then, there was a whole lot of stuff going on in those days. And then there was Charles Manson came along shortly thereafter. It was a weird time growing up. It was just previous to puberty for me. But you know how you remember things in your life and how news events can kind of anchor different times of your life? Well, that's how it was for me. And I'll tell you, though, that I didn't know who Martin Luther King was until after he passed. And then I did a study. I did a book report on him, I think, years ago or something, and studied his speeches. And one of the things that really stood out for me, and I hope stands out for you, is just the fact that he did something that at the time, it was illegal, It was illegal. Segregation was legal, and desegregation was not. And he went against the grain, and he got, the trail he blazed was just absolutely incredible. He said, forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a permanent attitude. How much we have to learn from a 39-year-old man who was basically martyred for his beliefs and for doing the right thing. And as a country, we have mostly evolved to understand that this is the truth, that all men are created equal, all. And that includes women too. Whatever color we are, wherever we are, whatever religion we practice, whatever it is, we're all equal. We all are made by the same divine God who made you and who loves us with all of his heart. How incredible is that? Think about it for a minute. It should overwhelm you with gratitude just for all of that. It's huge. So, of course, I didn't think about what my quote of the week was. Otherwise, it would have been a Martin Luther King quote. Instead, I have Dolly Parton. She's a national treasure too, right? And our quote of the week is, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. How much I love that. Because, things come to us. There are things that are out of control that we cannot make come to us. We cannot make everything just right or just perfect, can we? If we could, we would be omnipotent. If we could just wave wands and sprinkle fairy dust and, oh, I wish I can, I wish I could, and just had that whole thing going, life would be a cakewalk. But it's not. It's not. There's areas where we struggle. There's areas where it's tough. There are areas in our lives that we wish were simpler. And the answer to that is the wind is going to be coming at you anyway. You simply need to learn to adjust the sails. As we adjust the sails, we can capture the wind and use that energy and harness that energy so that we can have a completely different life. That's pretty phenomenal. That's pretty phenomenal, especially if you're reactive. I have been reactive all my life. I grew up with a reactive mother and everything was a great big deal. But when you can step away from being reactive and instead say, okay, so how do I take a look at this? How do I adjust my thinking? How is it that this should be? Then we can start to direct things just a little bit, can't we? I love that, because being able to direct things a little bit and just change and shift and move a little bit means that energetically we have shifted entirely. Now, I kind of hinted a little bit on the, I hinted a little bit on the little setup for this whole thing that I wanted to talk about energy. It was one of the mainstays of our discussion when we were talking this weekend when I went to David Bayer's Legendary Life conference. Now, I was part of his mastermind coaching program until March. And then at that time, I'll be looking at probably another different coach, simply because I believe that coaching is such an incredible way to up-level your life in a lot faster and to create the energy that you need to get to the next level. Being proactive as opposed to being reactive realigns your energy. It puts the wind beneath your sails, and it keeps you from being constantly feeling, and you know this, what I'm talking about, when you're constantly feeling like you're pushing and it's exhausting and you can't get through. Instead, I think it was time to just kind of step back a little bit, take a look at it, and decide for yourself what it is that you want. You don't want to be reactive. Reactive is exhausting. Reactive gets you nowhere. Reactive is emotion not well spent. If we can pull ourselves out of that and find ourselves in the place, and also what Martin Luther King said, because I feel like this is a really interesting thing, is that when our forgiveness is not an occasional act and becomes a permanent attitude, then we change ourselves from being reactive and bitter and angry and awful to being joyful and understanding and accepting and letting go of all that negative energy that has never yet once served you. I want to ask you a question and just tell me how you feel about this. Have you ever noticed that your unforgiveness, your bitterness, and your anger has ever served you? Has it ever given you anything you've wanted? Has it ever given you life and joy and things in your life that you want? Has it? Or has it taken away from you? Has it sucked energy out of you? Has it put you into the place of being reactive and angry and awful and just and downtrodden and depressed and I can't do anything. And you get to the place where as you fall down into that horrible tunnel of death, really, that you can't see anything bright and shiny anymore, that you can't see the beauty of the mountains, that you can't see the beauty of your child's smile. You're missing out on your life because bitterness and angerness has taken over. Forgiveness has to be a permanent act. A permanent act means that we're letting go because it's energy. Energy that has taken and sucked you away from all the things that you want. So it's no wonder then that we don't have, we don't have any energy left to do the things that we want when a good portion of our life is being sucked down and taken away with this unforgiveness. So important. So energy, and I'm going to be talking about a lot of things about energy because that was one of our big things that we did this weekend when I guess it was this week. We were talking about how our energy is just, it's such an important thing to protect and also to grow because our energy is the very thing that is going to direct our path. It is going to take us to the places that we want, or it's going to take us by default to the places we don't want to go. We can't grow. We can't change. We can't have the things that we want to have in our lives when our energy is being sucked into such a negative way. Those two things can't coexist. They can't. So think about it. If we can't direct the wind, and what is wind? That's just a massive bunch of energy, isn't it? We can't direct it. And that's where we get stuck. If we get stuck trying to direct it, it's exhausting. Instead, if we can ease into and understand that the wind is coming and it's up to us, because this is our own little sailboat, that we can adjust those sails, then suddenly things shift. And the direction is different, just like on a sailboat. The direction's totally different. One of the things that we talked about this weekend when we're talking about energy and how, I keep saying this weekend, it wasn't this weekend, it was actually on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. This last Monday, actually, this is one of the big topics, was that we can place our order for what we want. It's like going to a restaurant when we place our order. I started thinking back into my life of all the times that I placed my order, when it was, and how I felt, and the energy that went toward it. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples for this because I think it's so important. And there was one time I remember when I was I think I was in between freshman and sophomore year, and I was really taking my dancing very seriously. I danced all through, junior high school and high school, actually elementary, and ballet was my big thing. I loved it. It was beautiful. It was wonderful, and I was on toe and all of that. So I remember I was taking in the summer. I was taking a ballet class with this guy who used to be with the New York City Ballet or something. I don't remember. But I just remember I loved the music he chose. I loved the way he directed everything. I couldn't wait to get to the bar every single day. The bar, B-A-R-R-E, please. And just get in there and just I gave it my all. Energy again, right? I gave it my all. To the point of emotion, to the point of thinking about it when I went to bed at night, to the point of absolute adoration and loving it, and thinking to myself, I wonder if I could go further with this. Interesting. So I saw him talking to me about telling me that I was good, that I was really good, and that I could go further with it. And I think I might have shared this with you, and you know what happened? He did come up to me one day, and he did say to me, you could be great. You could go on and do something with this. I was 19, I think, at the time. But you need to lose some weight. There it was. I had boobs and a butt, There's just, boobs and a butt don't do well in ballet. You have to be those skinny girls. And so, of course, the crash dieting ensued. This is when I started my crash dieting career. But that's a separate thing. But the point was my energy was directed so much at being good enough at being amazing at ballet, and the emotional charge and everything, I put everything into it. I thought about it. I practiced. Emotionally, I was in love with it. It just, everything about it was something to me. It was just like the most important thing that I was doing at the time. And then, spiritual, it was like almost a spiritual experience for me. But it was the amount of energy that I put toward that I wanted that so badly. And it was actually given to me, where somebody said, yes, you could be this good. And the truth of the matter is, I could have been, but I also needed to be skinny enough, right, to be those ballerinas. Ballerinas back then especially were especially anorexic. But I thought it was so interesting how this manifested itself, because my reticular activating system was going bonkers at the time. I never knew about it. I never even connected the dots on it, right? But I am now. I am looking back on it now, and I just remember that night in bed, laying there in bed and just thinking about it, just thinking, wow, this is exactly what I thought about. I wasn't thinking about the, hey, you need to lose weight so you look anorexic part, but I remember thinking about that. This is how our energy works. Everything is energy. Everything has an energetic vibe to it, and it's bizarre. As a matter of fact, if you go to YouTube and look at, there's somebody, I don't know, a scientist or something, takes this vibration plate, puts sand on it, and hits the vibration plate. And the higher the vibration goes, the more intricate the pattern is created with the sand. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And I tell you that because I believe that the energy, God's energy, has definite pattern, has a definite beauty to it. And he gifts us this ability to energetically draw things to us with our reticular activating system. And there's my, that's my best example that I can think of. I mean, there's been other times in my life, getting the book, getting it on the New York Times bestseller list, all of that was I've thought of it before it ever happened. And I remember when I got the phone call, Marla and our agent Michelle were both on the phone, and they say, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Are you sitting down? Are you kidding? I mean, I'm driving." "Yes, I'm sitting down." And they said, "Well, we got on the New York Times bestseller list." And I had to pull the car over, and I just sobbed because I had seen this in my head. I had imagined what it would be like, not that I would be driving and all of that, but I had imagined all of these things, that this would happen to me one day. And it did. And my point to you is this: we can draw in the things that we want in our life simply by using our reticular activating system and having more energy go toward the things that we want than the things that we don't want. When we sit there and sit there and just wring our hands over all the stuff that we don't want, and we're imagining, oh, and then he's going to say this, and I've got to tell them that, and it's all that. When we're living in that kind of a past experience, and not looking at wonderful things that could happen to you, then we're giving our energy away to that. We're giving our energy away to the things we don't want. And energetically, the reticular activating system is saying, your wish is my command. And that's what we draw in. Because one of the things that we do is we are always looking, our minds do this, we're always looking for evidence of the things that we want or the things that we don't want, right? We're always looking for evidence. So if we say, the best example, of course, is the reticular activating system in the car thing, right? The car. So let's say you decided you're going to buy a Toyota Sequoia, and I don't even know if they make those anymore, but you buy a Toyota Sequoia, and you're thinking about it. This is what I want to get. I want to get a car. I even want this color. I want that. I want to have the leather seats with the butt warmers, whatever it is that you want. But you start thinking about that, and this is the car, and this is the money I have. You put a lot of energy toward that, and looking at them online. You start driving, and all of a sudden there's Toyota Sequoias everywhere, right? There's Toyota Sequoias everywhere. That's the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is going off and bringing in the very thing that you desire. Yes, it does sound a lot like The Secret. The Secret, it's the law of attraction thing. But the law of attraction, that can get real off into the woo-woo land. This is how your brain operates. This is a brain thing. This is your brain. And the energy that's out there is something that it's the wind thing. It's exactly what Dolly Parton says. The wind is out there. Are you going to fight that wind, or are you going to adjust your sails and experience the energy of that wind? That's what I want to know from you today. So one of the things that I would invite you to do is start experiencing allowing in your life. One of the things we do, and you know this, is we don't think we're worthy of it. I'm not worthy of a new Toyota Sequoia. I shouldn't get a New York Times bestseller book. I'm not worthy of my teacher telling me I'm good enough to go pro on something. Yeah, you are. If you have got your heart, mind, and soul set on something, and you're putting everything that you can into it and adjusting your sails accordingly, don't tell me it won't happen. It will. And it's the same thing. This is what we do with weight loss. Instead of concentrating on hating your body, and because a hated body will never lose weight, right? Amen? If you hate your body, you're always going to hate your body. If you start loving your body where it is right now today, and please read Body Clutter, that was my big eye-opener for me. When I finally stopped hating myself enough and stopped hating myself entirely and just accepted where I was, bought the clothes that I needed, got out of the nursing bra when I had 2 teenage kids, and brought some pretty underwear, and started loving myself for where I was at the time and allowing myself to love, allowing my size 18, and stuffed into a size 18, by the way, stuffed like a sausage into a size 18. I was unwilling to go into the 20s, unwilling. But you know what? I loved myself. I have clothes to wear. I had underwear that fit. And I put makeup on. I started doing my hair again. I stopped doing my hair. I stopped doing everything. I didn't feel like I was worthy until I got to this certain place. And what I kept telling myself, and where all of my energy was, is I hate myself. I hate the way I look. I'm not worthy of doing my hair. I'm not worthy of any of it. And my body responded in kind. Stay your weight, maybe gain a few. Don't look very attractive. Look in the mirror every day and say something nasty about yourself. And on it goes. And that, my friend, is saying you want something over here, but staying over here into this nasty, negative place where you just feel like you're just not worth it. Not worth the time, not worth the energy, not worth anything. You cannot get to there when you are in that place. You cannot get over there. If you hate your body is going to hate you back. Do you hear me? It's time to love your body right now, where you are today. Love it, and it will love you back. Love it, feed it, fuel it, move it, hydrate it. Consider it like your child. We talked about that in Body Clutter too. You would never feed your child a bunch of crappy food. You would never withhold from your child cute, nice clothing and a change of a diaper. You would never withhold like you do with yourself. So if we can redirect our energy and allow in the love that we have for ourselves, that shows up on a daily basis, then we're going to get it. We're going to start getting these things. We experience the things we believe, you guys. We experience it. So if you're experiencing these awful feelings, if you're experiencing this total negative self-talk, all of the garbage, if all of that is what your reality is, it's because your belief system is supporting it. You have to move out of that, and you have to readjust your sails into the positive energy and into the things that you want. Close your eyes and see it. Feel the emotion of feeling what it feels like to be in your best body, your healthy, optimized body, where you're playing full out in your life, where you're giving your all. Think about that. Think about the positivity, the allowing of that in your life and what that actually does. How it makes you feel so much different. How it makes you feel so much greater than where you are now. The love that you have for yourself is in direct proportion with the energy you put toward yourself. In other words, you have to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself and not putting yourself on the bottom of the list. Taking care of yourself and showering every day. I mean, I was to the point where I wouldn't even shower every day. I didn't feel good enough about myself. I made these conditions like I need to be working out, and I hadn't worked out in months. So I would put that off. And the negativity would just be one step at a time downward. One step at a time downward. And it doesn't have to be. Because the thing we have to understand is we need to be proactive about this. You just do not stumble onto what you want, do you? Have you noticed that? Everything that you've ever wanted, you've had to go out and create it for yourself, right? I'll give you an example. Getting married. If you're getting married and you're going to have a wedding and a reception, it's not just going to happen like that, is it? It doesn't work that way. You know how it works? It works so that you create it. You create, this is what I want the mood to be. This is how the colors of the bridesmaids' dresses. These are the flowers. This is the food I want. Look how you put all of that together to create this event, to create a mood, to create what you want with your family and your friends, and to celebrate and to honor this great occasion. That's the kind of thing we need to do every single day with our lives. We need to create what we want. It's not just the cornerstone moments of life. It's your moment by moment, your life, daily, moment by moment. Everything is worthy of that. Everything is worthy of creation. And we have the ability to create. Action creates the energy which creates the results. Action. So your non-action and your decision making and your beliefs, all of it, they all fold into each other. So if you are in a place of being stuck, then stop saying I am stuck. No, you're not. You're just temporarily in a place of saying I don't know which way to go. Okay, how about this? I am going to do this positive thing for myself today, and I'm going to go away from stuck. That works, doesn't it? When we are dependent on being motivated, nobody is going to come to your house, knock on your door and say, hey, here I am. I'm motivation. I'm here to motivate you to get your butt up off the couch, get over here and do 4-minute exercise, go over here, create a Target trifecta smoothie and start taking care of yourself. I'm here to motivate you to fill up your water bottle. No, it's action steps. You write them down and you do them. That's it. And don't wait to feel like it. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. If we waited to feel like it, what if you just you're at home and things are going on and you're in the middle of doing something and you don't feel like getting in your car to go pick up your kids at school? What's going to happen? Huh? Nothing's going to happen. Your kids you're going to get a call from the principal. You're going to say, where are you to pick up your kids? You have a responsibility to pick those children up. You have a responsibility to pick yourself up too. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for your fairy godmother to sprinkle fairy dust all over it and to make it happen. Please stop doing that. You have way more to offer than that. You have way more inside of you than that. And I'm here to tell you that it's your energy. Readjust your sails. You can adjust your sails at any point. So that's what I have for you today. It's an adjustment of sails. It's adjusting your sails. It's your energy. Your motivation comes from you. Your motivation comes from doing. The action steps that you take are the things that are going to get you exactly what you want. Don't put yourself down anymore. All those negativity, all those negative things, when they come up, flip them up, flip them, flip them. Yes, you're worthy of a new bra. I don't care if you're size 45. You're worthy of a new pretty bra. You're worthy of new clothes. You're worthy of eating well. You're worthy of hydration. You're worthy of moving it and exercising. You're worthy of so much because you're here on a purpose and God doesn't make junk. All right? Are you with me? Please. I love our time together, you guys. By the way, this is hot milk mix for all of you who keep asking me. The shop is stocked. Stocked, people. Here's hot milk mix, if I can get it to the front. There it is. There it is. Also, body clutter tea. It's in the shop. You want free shipping? This is how you get it. Order before January 31st. January 31st. And shipping charges start on February 1. Okay? Sorry, guys. I have to do it. If you want your stuff, order it now. The shop is stocked. Also, fiber mender. I'm going crazy with this stuff. Last thing I wanted to tell you is that April 18th is our event here in Brevard, North Carolina. Here in Brevard, North Carolina. Right? Are you going to come? Do you know we're probably going to have about 100 people here. It is going to be amazing. We have a meet and greet on Friday night. That's a VIP ticket if you want to go that way. All the information will be coming to you in a very shortly. Also, if you are in Take Back Your Life, we start the 21-day knockout today. If you want to find out about that, there's a link right here that Jenny just posted. And, you know, you guys, I am excited to be home and I'm excited to be back with you and back into my regular routine. And I really, really appreciate, I know Cassie, you're coming. I'm so excited to see you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, I am speaking from my heart. My heart does good when I see everybody here. And I really appreciate too the fact that you share these videos and you bring people in. We have a new sprint coming up the first week in February. I think it's February 3rd it starts. Yeah, we're going to be getting ready for that too. So if you want to get more information, and by the way, for those of you who are in Take Back Your Life and Hot Milk Club and the Sprint, we have groups for those right here on Facebook. If you're in there, I am going to be doing 24-hour fasts on Tuesday and Thursday. Boom, you want to join me? Listen, if you haven't never fasted, don't join me. But if you're used to fasting and you have, intermittent fasting going 16, 18 hours, we start after dinner tonight. So I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. Look at this. Joanne's coming. Who else is there? Cassie. Yay. I'm so excited. Yeah, you better, and get your hotels and all of that. Get everything booked because it's going to be an amazing, amazing thing. Oh, Vanessa said you should start your Facebook Lives with, "Hi, I'm Leanne Ely and this is Hot Milk Mix." Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. This is Hot Milk Mix. I drink this every day for an hour, and then I move to tea at 3 o'clock. That's what I have. So listen, and some people are starting the sprint today. You can start at any time. You can readjust your sails at any time. And remember this, please remember this. You are so worthy, and your purpose is here. It's here for the asking. Start asking about what your purpose is. God will tell you. I promise you. He never lets you down. He's as steady as the wind, isn't he? Bless you. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.